Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi hailed the coordination level between Egypt and Jordan in issues of mutual concern, as well as their keenness on boosting joint Arab work in a way that serves countering the challenges facing the Arab nation in the current stage. This came during the President's meeting with Jordan's King Abdullah II in Salman Palace in Amman. Presidential spokesman Bassem Radi said that the two leaders held one-on-one talks, which were followed by an extensive session which saw the participation of the two delegations of Egypt and Jordan. The presidential spokesman added that the talks covered means of boosting bilateral relations. The two leaders will also exchange views on Arab and regional developments and issues of mutual interest, including the Middle East peace process, where President al-Sisi stressed Egypt's relentless efforts exerted to restore the legal rights of the Palestinian people and the establishment of a Palestinian sovereign state. The head of state has arrived in Amman on Monday at the start of a visit to the Jordanian capital upon an invitation from King Abdullah II. The visit is part of the continued consultations between the two states to preserve the Arab national security. Upon the directions of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Egypt sent a plane of medical aid to Jordan as part of Egypt's efforts to support nations amid coronavirus crisis. The General Command of the Armed Forces ordered the delivery of medicines and medical supplies in cooperation with the Ministry of Health. The aid sent is a reflection of the strong Egyptian-Jordanian relations. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli told the new sworn-in parliament that the government's priority is to spare the Egyptian people the repercussions of the coronavirus pandemic. This was part of the government's statement to the parliament, which he delivered on Monday.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli delivered on Monday the government statement to the new parliament, 1 week after the newly elected MPs were sworn in. Madbouli said that the government program reflects the assignments of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. He said that the program Egypt's Breakthrough 2018-2020 is meant to achieve a major progress in the coming period and to guarantee that citizens reap the fruit of the economic reform program. The Prime Minister said the government has been in office for 2.5 years, noting that the past year was a difficult year for the humanity in general. He said the government's priority was and still to spare the Egyptian people the repercussions of the coronavirus pandemic. Madbouli said the government is keen on implementing social programs to support citizens, noting that 3.4 million families benefited from the Solidarity and Dignity program for financial support. He noted that the program aimed at preserving and expanding water resources. Madbouli said a number of new sewage stations were established in addition to 7 desalination stations in northern Sinai, Matruh and the Red Sea. He noted that the armed forces and security forces took part in achieving water security. The Prime Minister also noted that the program achieved self-sufficiency in electricity as a result of implementing electricity and renewable energy projects. He said that by 2023, Egypt will achieve self-sufficiency in petroleum products, in addition to achieving self-sufficiency in natural gas and providing it thousands of houses. He added that 2,575 development projects were implemented in Upper Egypt. The Prime Minister said that 159 sprawling areas were developed and 85,500 new housing units were established. He added that 2,500 kilometers were developed as part of the state's plan to develop the country's roads and bridges network. The Prime Minister added that the project to establish electric train and monorail have been launched. Madbouli said the government's investment over the past 2 years reached 324 billion Egyptian pounds. The Prime Minister noted that 44,000 companies were launched with local or foreign investments. He added that the government managed to attract $10 billion in development funds in 2020.
Minister of Defense and Military Production Mohammed Zeki met on Monday with the Greek Army Chief of Staff Konstantinos Floros and the accompanying delegation during his visit to Egypt, which lasts for days. The meeting tackled several files of common interest in light of the latest regional and international developments and their impacts on the security and stability of the Middle East, as well as means of boosting joint cooperation between the armed forces of both countries. During the meeting, Zeki stressed keenness on fostering strategic partnership between Egypt and Greece in various domains, particularly the fields of defense and security, and asserted the importance of coordination between the two sides. Meanwhile, Egypt's chief of staff held a meeting with his Greek counterpart where they discussed several issues, especially the distinguished joint drills that aim at restoring stability and security in the region. Egypt reported on Sunday 890 new coronavirus infections and 56 deaths. The health ministry said the number of patients who recovered were discharged from hospitals rose to 122,993. World Health Organization chief Tedros Adhanom warned the world was on the brink of a catastrophic moral failure if rich countries hog